As humans, it's normal for us to think highly of ourselves and have pride in the person that we are. We're born as naturally self-centered beings that grow and learn to put others before ourselves. Through experiences in life, we become people that make morally good decisions and always know what's right. Or is this what our brain tells us what we are? A person's whole personality and behavior is built on their memories. The memories that are built on emotions and personal experiences. So can you say for sure that your memories contain the factual and objective information of an event from the past? Is a person really who they think they are purely based off their memories? In The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, Offred is just a person trying to survive in a twisted world where women are objects, sacred vessels that bear children. This is the objective reality that Offred faces. However, the readers are subjected to Offred's own interpretation of this objective reality through the story she tells in her mind. Ultimately, Offred lives two lives, the one in her head and the one in the outside world. In The Truth of Fact, The Truth of Feeling by Ted Chiang, a father is faced with the reality of the kind of father he was to his daughter through the use of Remem, a technology that video records a person's entire life and allows users to access the videos whenever they want. He finds out that an argument between him and his daughter occurred differently than what he had remembered, where rather than his daughter blaming him for her mother leaving, it was him who did the blaming. Both stories showcase that every person contains a story of who they are and what makes them the person they are. They are the hero of their story and have total control over this story that ultimately only exists in their head. If a person wishes to appear as a certain type of person, they can do so freely by altering the events of their story to make them seem a certain way to their audience or themselves. Offred showcases this all throughout The Handmaid's Tale, but one of the most distinct examples of this is during her affair with Nick. Offred retells the events of the affair multiple times, each describing her emotions and how she felt at the time. During the first and second retelling, she describes the affair as if she enjoyed it, but during the third retelling, she hated the affair and felt as if she was betraying her husband. The details change each time she tells the story. She reconstructs the memory, and the emotions associated with the memory changes with each reconstruction to make her seem a certain way. Because maybe she didn't really feel this way in reality, the emotions only exist in the reconstructions. The fact that she has multiple reconstructions of the same event that go in different directions is proof that she makes them to suit her self-image, based on what she thinks she should have felt at the time, to make her look like a better person than what she really is. She's trying to make herself or the reader believe that she is the Offred in the reconstructions. In The Truth of Fact, The Truth of Feeling, the father decides to use the Remem technology to revisit a memory of a crucial event in his and his daughter's relationship. He revisits an argument where his daughter Nicole supposedly accuses him of being the reason why her mother left. However, when he revisits the memory, it is him that accused his daughter. He's left in disbelief, as he had always thought that for years it was Nicole who had accused him, but rather, he reconstructed the argument to make him seem like the heroic single father, and believed it for so long that he forgot that he had ever altered the events of the narrative in his head. Both stories explore this idea, but then take it another step, because the action of reconstructing memories goes even further than just making a person think that they are who they say they are, but it also influences their behavior and actions. This is the result of believing false narratives and reconstructions. The personality of the father was molded by his reconstructed narrative. He started thinking like the father in the narrative. He started believing that the man in the narrative is who he really is. He even recognizes this himself when he states, "Each of us noticed the details that caught our attention and remembered what was important to us, and the narratives we built shaped our personalities in turn." So even if the memory was a reconstruction, his feelings are true even though the memory of the argument is factually wrong. The guilt and emotions that made him want to become a better father are all real. For Offred, the reality of Gilead and the reality inside her mind begin to merge. The way she experiences Gilead is her subjective reality and thus controls the way she acts. But when the objective and harsh reality of Gilead heavily influences her perception of herself and her reconstructions, it comes to the point where the two realities start to become indistinguishable. Offred says herself that all she is a two-legged womb, a sacred vessel, She is starting to believe what Gilead wants her to believe, losing her sense of self in her own subjective reality. She begins to act and think accordingly with the principles of Gilead because of the strong influence they have on her. It's through Offred and the father's false narratives and reconstructions that their lives are taken control over and are transformed into the person their mind says that they are. And so in the end, reconstructions can be born from different emotions, including fear, with Gilead's control over women, or guilt, with the father wanting to turn his life around and becoming a better parent. But the reconstructions will overlap your objective reality by becoming your subjective reality, and will control the way you interpret things around you and how you react to them.